Exist. That's a lot of episodes. I should have done one of those celebrations or something at 50. See, that's the thing about monetized channels is they do more of that kind of thing. Geez, 54. It's a lot. Okay, well, when you're 52 years old, like myself, like 5 year periods start to seem like what 1 year periods used to seem like when you were in your 20s and 30s. And I guess I must have been doing Illusions Exist. To me, I think of it as a new thing. Oops. To me, I think of it as a new thing. So, anyway. All right, well, this is stuff that my old viewers have seen before, you know. That's why I'm reaching out to you new viewers because, you know, you're the ones that need to hear this because my old viewers, you know, they've well memorized. They know exactly what to expect from good old Piro. So the topic here is I got a random graphic uh, that from an article talking about 6 kinds of philosophers. Um, you know, I just searched Google Images, came up with that kind of the Mandarin philosopher. Good. Hard to know what that is. Those might be interesting to go through. Gadfly. It's an interesting little graphic. But basically, my view is that philosophy is one of the complex terms that's difficult to pin down. There's going to be a million different kinds of definitions for philosophy, and they're going to at least derive from different kinds of philosophers, people that take their interest in philosophy different ways, consciously and unconsciously, subconsciously. Um, you know, what is philosophy about to them? They might have an opinion that you should listen to, and you might watch their behavior and see what they get out of philosophy. Like some people might complain, some philosophers get, you know, a feeling of superiority or whatnot. To me, that's not real philosophy. But I might go through that as a type of philosopher at some point. But right now, what we're doing is going through these two. One kind of philosopher is or wants to be a mind programmer. They want to know how to program the human mind so that they can get the human mind to do what they want it to do. I mean, they are a human mind, and yet it doesn't seem to do what they want it to do. So evidently, they're a part of a human mind, and they're trying to figure out, just like a citizen in a democracy or a citizen in any social unit, how to get from it what they need or want or think is in its best interest. How do you program the human mind? Shouldn't, you know, one way of putting this is like sometimes you're performing in the groove in a sport. It feels good, it's fun, and you can tell you're playing at your top possibility. Why can't we just decide to do that? I mean, if we can do it at all, I can understand if, hey, well, because you can't do it. Your body and nerve endings won't play tennis good. Right, but no, sometimes I'm in the groove. Why can't I just be at that top notch? Why can't I just run a program in my brain that does that for me? And we know you can train yourself to be better at things. So, mind programmer, that's one type of philosopher. Or especially for those to acknowledge those that say you can't really program the mind. One type of philosopher is the kind of guy that wants to be able to do it. Okay, another kind, to me, the reason we would go through these is because it's interesting. We might be more than one kind of philosopher. We probably are. And we could even appreciate the concept of kinds of philosopher that we're not. I'm interested to know what you guys think about this. Mind programming. Programming minds has a bad reputation, but remember in philosophy, we're talking about programming our own minds. Certainly it's morally okay for me to program my own mind, or maybe that's not certain. Anyway, I'm sure you have tons of opinions. Not the new viewers. I know new viewers kind of shy. That's okay. Um, to any bots, let me just say, no, I don't want to be your friend. Okay, the second kind of philosopher we're going to discuss. That's topic one. Comments could be left below. That's all we're going to talk about. Mind programming. Probably I'll go back to it actually and violate that separation horizontal rule that I just set in there. But let's just say type 2. Do. Is it like that for you guys? Yeah. Okay. Just people that are obsessive compulsive about the truth. This is a sort of interesting a Nietzschean point. I don't believe there is a overall Nietzschean perspective, but he has a lot of sort of takes. It's almost like hot takes on philosophical issues, and one of them is truth, where he's saying basically, he said that philosophers love the truth. And philosophers justify that by saying, well, the truth will set you free. The more truth you know, the better you'll do. You can see in something like this COVID, which, you know, atheist blessings to you all. I hope we're all going to make it through this. Um, the truth about it, like the more testing, if we had a Fitbit that could test you for COVID and everybody knew and could share that information even at their own desire, even with some people hiding the information, overall, you get so much information about the COVID and who had it that knowledge would allow you to manage it even prior to having any other kind of a cure. Just as a thought experiment, right? So we can certainly imagine that there's situations where knowing the truth is going to help you, like knowing the truth about who stole from you, for example, or whatever. However, in general, it's not a sure thing. And sometimes truth hurts. Sometimes the truth or a revelation or a scandal could conceivably cause a catastrophe in a society where a lot more people suffer than if that truth was never known. Now, I'm a philosopher. I'd say put the truth out there. Suffer the truth. I believe that. The second type of philosophers potentially, and I'm, self uh, deprecatingly describing this as something I believe, but also that has this drawback or this built in criticism that it's like if you're willing to just, hey, let's get the truth out there and the chips fall where they may, then just in general, maybe the chips might fall in a pretty bad place. That's a little bit like obsessive compulsive for the truth or live. This is live, everybody, and non monetized. Okay, just thought it was a good time to point that out. Or sort of aspie for the truth, um, in the sense of an Asperger kind of thing is you become obsessed with your whatever your obsessions that you like to super study. We're just ignoring the sneezes. Okay, that's the way this channel works. Not ignoring, but uh like I know one Asperger child, and there's more than one like this, like wanted to wear his Spider-Man costume, which was pajamas under his clothes to school every day. And sometimes he'd come home with his clothes missing and just his Spider-Man suit on. So you get into these things, and a philosopher is just a person like that got into this idea of truth. And the emotional feeling there is when you have this feeling of curiosity, it's like an itch. And when you finally think oh my God, I figured it out, you have this eureka moment. And it's like an intellectual orgasm for your brain metabolism. And you can get addicted to that. So being OCD for the truth doesn't mean you're going to find the truth, because probably you're addicted to this feeling. And so some people just love having a continual roll of revelations. If you really, really, really like the truth, you'll realize that there is these revelations. They can feel really, really good, but as you zero in on the truth, you're going to have to give up your addiction on this eureka moment and find some other aspect of the truth that you truly enjoy. So the people that are OCD for the truth actually break down into subcategories, some of whom are addicted to the feeling of, I just figured out the truth. And so they're constantly have these rolling revelations, because the feeling of revelation and getting a new idea and thinking, oh, I just finally saw the clarity, becomes the addiction, which again, I felt that kind of thing. Um, Versus doubling down on, wait, what is the actual truth? I want to know it, whatever it is. Maybe the real truth isn't a constant series of revelationary, mindgasms. And okay, in that case, that's what I want. Um, Even if I don't want the truth, I want the truth. If it turns out the truth is something I don't want, I want it. How is that possible? Well, because I want it before I know it. But then I know it and it was bad. Well, I want that kind of truth again. Why? The mind is complicated. It's one kind of philosopher, though. Obsessive about the truth for unknown reasons we'd like to justify, but we know, yeah, a good 90% of situations, the more truth, the better you're going to handle it. Um, 10 to 20% of the situations, if you have so much truth, your emotional systems might just want to shut down and you become an aphilist or something. All right, cheers to everybody, all philosophers of all types. We're getting a second wind. You know what I mean? Christopher's back. I think there's something going on, you guys. Glad you're here.